Hello everyone, welcome to the Biberian channel. Today, I'll be presenting Aztec mythology as if it were in the game age of mythology. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're ready, let's get right into it. The Eagle Warrior acts as both a scout and an anti-ranged soldier, and can be trained in the town center and the war hut. Aztec soldiers are exclusively ground warrior, but they are cheap and have a fast training time. The melee military building is the war hut, while the ranged military building is the noble hut. They also have the Calmecac, a fortress that trains siege weaponry and major god unique units. Their main hero is the Tlatoani, the supreme leader of the army, who can inspire strength and accelerate the training of military units to make them more effective. The other hero type is the Teopixqui, the primary anti-myth unit's hero who fights from a distance and can also restore hit points to nearby friendly units. Wiping out enemy units and buildings progressively increases the Chacmool XP. The Chacmool meter is divided into tiers, from starting to maximum, to generate an increasingly large amount of favor. Overview. Worker Unit, Huitzilopochtli. Drop sites, Quetzalcoatl, food, storehouse, wood and gold. Quetzalcoatl can plant a cornfield around itself for workers to harvest food resources. Starts with 3 Huitzilopochtli, 1 Tlatoani, 1 Teopixqui, and an Eagle Warrior. The Tlatoani is limited to once per age, except Wonder Age, and can boost nearby human units by Celestial Aura, improving movement speed, attack, and training units at military buildings faster. Including to efficiently generate favor in the latest game. Starting resources, 250 food, 255 wood, 100 gold. Destroying enemy units and buildings will increase XP for contributing to the Chacmool meter, which gradually generates tiered favor rate and strengthens major god blessings. Reaching the maximum tier unlocks a new powerful god power and special reward for each major god. Aside from the Chacmool meter, favor can also be indirectly generated by the Tlatoanis. Foot soldiers, infantry, archers, and heroes cost less gold and created plus 15% faster. The choice of major god also determines the unique unit at the Calmecac in the heroic age. Relics can generate plus 10% gold. Huitzilopochtli, god of the sun and war. Focus, war hut units, Tlatoanis and Teopixquis. Path of Glory, war hut units gain plus 6%/12%/18%/24%/36%/42%/48% attack across the 8 Chacmool tiers. Special reward, Son of Wisdom, Huitzilopochtli immediately reveals the line of sight of all enemies, removing the requirement to research omniscience. Military units, especially war hut units, and heroes within the aura of each Tlatoanis receive plus 10%, 15%. Attack, plus 5%, 8%. Movement speed, and 2%, 4%. Divine damage. Tlatoanis generate favor faster by accumulating a gauge based on the HP of enemy units and buildings defeated within their vicinity. This accumulated progress is retained even if any Tlatoani is killed and reincarnated. The XP cost to unlock Chacmool tiers is reduced by 25%. Additionally, XP gained from killing enemy units or destroying enemy structures is increased by 5%. Unique units. Quetzalcoatl, heroic age infantry. Tezcatlipoca, god of darkness and night. Focus, noble hut units and myth units. Path of darkness. There is a 5%/10%/15%/25%/30%/35%/40% chance for fallen humans to summon myth units from the next age that do not consume population slots, requiring a minimum of 9/8/7/6/5/4/3/2 fallen human units across the 8 Chacmool tiers. Special reward, Ancestors of Miquelon. Tezcatlipoca reduces myth unit training time by 95% and removes the favor cost for training them. Can build a smoking mirror to transport our ground units anywhere, but only for one-way trips. Military units, especially noble hut units, and myth units gain plus 25%, plus 45%. Burst damage on their initial strike or shoot, with the recharge rate increased by 25.55%. Myth units release a fire explosion upon death, dealing 35% area of effect (AoE) damage to surrounding enemies. Unique units. Skull Knight Heroic Age Ranged Infantry. Quetzalcoatl, God of Light and Wisdom. Focus, Siege and Economy. Path of Light, plus 0.5/1.5/2.5/3.5/4.5/5.5/6.5/7.5 food and wood /second across the 8 Chacmool tiers. Special reward, Blessing of Serpent, Quetzalcoatl grants a resource bonus equal to 4x your current resource stockpiles. Siege units and technologies can be trained and researched at the town center, and are available 1 age earlier. Gathering any resource generates Chacmool XP equal to the amount of resources deposited by Masaholtans into drop sites. Masaholtans within the radius of each Tlatoani's gain plus 10% gathering rate, plus 5% movement speed, and plus 1.5 HP regeneration. Additionally, any animal hunted by a Tlatoani's has its food yield increased by 30%, scaled based on the animal's maximum HP. Unique units. Coyote Priest Heroic Age Ranged Heroes. The Classical Age minor gods are as follows. Tezcatlipoca, God of Maize. Focus, Farming. Related major gods, Huitzilopochtli and Quetzalcoatl. Mixcoatl, God of the Hunt and Stars. Focus, Hunting and Noble Hut units. Related major gods, Huitzilopochtli and Tezcatlipoca. Quetzalcoatl, Goddess of Earth and Nature. Focus, Infantry and God Powers. Related major gods, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. The Heroic Age minor gods are as follows. Zyptotec, God of Flaying and Agriculture. Focus, Siege and Economy. Related major gods, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. Tepeyalatl, God of Darkened Caves and Jaguar. Focus, Jaguar Warrior and Heroes. Related major gods, Huitzilopochtli and Tezcatlipoca. Ehocatl, God of Wind and Air. Focus, Eagle Warrior and Tlatoani. Related major gods, Huitzilopochtli and Quetzalcoatl. The Mythic Age minor gods are as follows. Tezcatlipoca, God of the Death and Underworld. Focus, Myth units. Related major gods, Tezcatlipoca. Tlatoani, God of Fire and Heat. Focus, Human Soldiers and Tlatoani's. Related major gods, all Aztecs major gods. Tlaloc, God of Rain and Lightning. Focus, Healing and War Hut units. Related major gods, Huitzilopochtli and Quetzalcoatl. Next, let's look at the Aztec god powers. For the Archaic Age, there are 2 versions, the standard version and a special version triggered when the Chacmool reaches its maximum tier. Standard version. Hummingbird Soul. Summon a hummingbird spirit to automatically explore the map. Shadow Jaguar. Summon a stealthy black jaguar to bolster your army's front lines. Vaintinas. The player's Masaholtan gather wood 120% faster. Special version. Arena of the Sun. Establish the domain of the solar battlefield, gradually searing the hit points of all enemies while rejuvenating the hit points of the player and allies. Furthermore, any Tlatoani within the domain will boost the combat stats of nearby soldiers by up to 100%. Pit of Mictlan. Spawns a Pit of Mictlan to summon at least 3 random myth units from previous and next stages simultaneously. This cycle repeats every 15 minutes. The pit can be destroyed by enemy forces. Kukulkan. Summon the legendary Winged Serpent and Master of Winds, Kukulkan. The Classical Age offers the following god powers. Harvest of Corn. Summons a cornfield for immediate food gathering. Rising Star. Targeted military building trains 3 units simultaneously per production cycle. Mixcoatl. Summon a two-headed serpent that bites enemies in the front while its rear head automatically fires toxic beams, piercing through multiple targets. The Heroic Age offers the following god powers. Explosive Landmine. Lays a mine that cloaks itself shortly after placement, detonating for massive AoE damage when stepped on by enemies. Jaguar Season. Summons packs of jaguars to attack enemy town centers and village centers. Waftage. Lifts enemies into the air and shackles them, rendering them vulnerable to attacks for a short duration. The Mythic Age offers the following god powers. Army of the Dead. Reanimate a massive swarm of undead soldiers to crush your foes for a short time. Fire Tower. Erect a fire tower that unleashes hellfire beams upon at least 5 nearby enemies simultaneously, dealing massive divine damage. This tower can be destroyed by enemy forces. Quatika. Transforms the Tlatoani into a formidable demigod, wielding a lightning Huitzilopochtli to smite any who stand in his way, causes another Tlatoani to the battlefield. For the Classical Age, the Aztec myth units are as follows. Tezcatlipoca. A giantess capable of transporting numerous military human units within her mouth. She can perform a massive leap to crush enemies in a circular area of effect or ferry troops across distances and obstacles. Tezcatlipoca. A giant gnawing rabbit that feeds on berry bushes to restore its own hit points. Huitzilopochtli. Celestial warriors whose attack power and speed increase significantly when gathered in large numbers. For the Heroic Age, the Aztec myth units are as follows. Quinametzin. A master artisan giant capable of constructing buildings. He functions as a living catapult, hurling massive boulders to demolish enemy structures. Battle Jaguar. A ferocious giant jaguar that gains increased attack power and movement speed with every enemy unit it slays. A Tatolan. A divine avian that blows away and scatters nearby enemies upon sight. Axolotl. A mystical salamander capable of self-replication to increase its own population. For the Mythic Age, the Aztec myth units are as follows. Huitzilopochtli. A goddess of death who hurls gravitational skulls that pull in nearby enemies, trapping them before detonating for massive damage. Calmecac. A demonic bat that exhales portal matter, enabling ground units to teleport between marked locations. Tezcatlipoca. A flying fire serpent that spits fireballs at its target while emitting searing sparks to damage all nearby enemies. Tlaloc. A servant of Tlaloc who glides over both land and water. He strikes opponents with charged lightning and regenerates hit points while hovering over water. Huitzilopochtli. An amphibious hound that utilizes its human hand tail to seize and hurl enemies away. The Aztec Town Center allows you to train the following units. Mythic Aztec's worker. Gathers all resources, except favor, and builds buildings. Eagle Warrior. Scout Infantry, good against archers. Can be trained from the town center. Can also be trained at the War Hut, Classical Age onwards. Tlatoani. Melee hero which automatically respawns at the town center when killed, increases movement and attacks of nearby human units, also improves producing military units faster, collects relics, generate favor and good against myth units. The War Hut is the primary building for training Aztec infantry. The units available are as follows. Eagle Warrior. Scout Infantry, good against archers. Can be trained from the town center. Can also be trained at the War Hut, Classical Age onwards. Jaguar Warrior. Classical Age infantry, powerful human soldier, excelling against infantry and cavalry. Quetzalcoatl. Classical Age infantry, good against cavalry. The Noble Hut is the primary building for training Aztec archers units. Here are the units available. Plumed Archer. Classical Age cheap archers, good against infantry. Otlotl Thrower. Classical Age archers, good against other archers. Tlatoani. Heroic Age archers with short-ranged, but utilizes poisoned attacks to slow enemies. The Calmecac is the primary structure for recruiting Aztec siege weapons and unique units. The units available are as follows. Serpent Tower. Heroic Age siege unit that can garrison foot units, attack enemy units with arrows, and ram buildings. Skull Thrower. Long-ranged Mythic Age siege weapon, good against buildings. Quetzalcoatl. Powerful infantry unit with immense attack power, ready to conquer any enemy units or buildings in its path. Skull Knight. Ranged infantry unit that is most formidable when fighting in large formations. Coyote Priest. Ranged hero capable of both healing and shielding friendly units. It is effective only against myth units and cannot collect relics. In the Archaic Age, the Aztec temple serves as the recruitment hub for your hero units. Tlatoani. Ranged hero that can only be trained at the temple, starting from the Archaic Age. It can heal friendly units, switch to melee attacks, and is effective only against myth units. Additionally, it cannot collect relics, as well as the myth units from each age that I just mentioned. The Aztec dock features these naval units. War Canoe, Arrow Ship, Ramming Canoe, Close Combat Ship, Siege Canoe, Siege Ship. Similarly, there are naval myth units for each age as follows. Titans. The Aztec Titan is Tezcatlipoca, a gargantuan primordial crocodile who swam in the cosmic ocean, and was slain by the gods Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl to bring stability to the universe, and its corpse was used to make the earth. Aztec unique technologies primarily focus on the Chacmool system. These three specific technologies can only be researched at the temple. Ritual of Bloodthirsty. Gains +5 attack, invokes an overshield, and passively generates +0.75 XP per second for Chacmool if human soldiers are below 50% hit points. Fire Calendar. Human soldiers' attacks deal +1 burning divine damage for up to 4 seconds per enemy unit once the Chacmool level reaches tier 4 or higher. Skull Rack. Eliminate enemy myth units generates 3x the normal amount of Chacmool XP. The Aztec favor generation system we're going to explain is the Chacmool gauge. Chacmool meter is the most critical mechanic for Aztec favor production. Displayed on the MKB HUD to the left of the UI scale panels, it appears as a red health style bar with a Chacmool icon at the bottom. XP is accumulated based on the hit points of enemy units or buildings, including titans, destroyed by your units. In cases where allies player have already damaged the target, XP awarded will instead equal the total damage dealt by all currently selected units. Hovering over the Chacmool icon displays the current favor production rate and the remaining XP required to reach the next tier. All military units, heroes, and myth units, including titans, accumulate XP by eliminating enemies, earning the full amount based on the enemy's hit points, provided no other allied player has dealt damage to them. However, XP accumulation is not limited to combat. Certain major gods offer alternative ways to gain XP. For instance, Huitzilopochtli provides a unique bonus that increases XP gain and reduces the cost to unlock the next tier. Quetzalcoatl allows for XP accumulation through resource gathering, while other gods may offer unique technologies that grant XP based on different conditions. Players begin at Tier 1 with 0 passive XP generation. The Chacmool meter can be advanced through 7 additional levels to reach the ultimate Tier 8. Advancing through these tiers scales the blessings bestowed by the major gods and progressively increases favor production, independent of the player's current age. Upon reaching the final Tier 8, the major god's standard god power is permanently replaced by an ascended, more potent version. Additionally, players are granted a special reward. The Chacmool gauge consists of 8 tiers. The key factors include accumulated XP, the favor production rate, and specific bonuses from each major god. Chacmool Tier 1. Chacmool Tier 2. Chacmool Tier 3. Chacmool Tier 4. Chacmool Tier 5. Chacmool Tier 6. Chacmool Tier 7. Chacmool Tier 8, this is the highest and most powerful tier. It grants enhanced god powers and a special reward, serving as the Aztecs' ultimate trump card. This can only be researched at the temple. Aztecs generate favor passively and effortlessly as long as a Tlatoani is present on the battlefield. The generation rate is 1.2 favor per second and per unit. Players can field a maximum of 4 Tlatoanis, with each additional unit granted upon advancing to the next age, excluding the Wonder Age. Under Huitzilopochtli's bonuses, Tlatoanis also accumulate a special gauge based on the hit points of enemies killed in their vicinity, regardless of whether the Tlatoani personally secures the kill. This bonus is calculated using the following equation. The bonus is capped at 150% per Tlatoani in stacks with their base favor generation rate of 1.2 per second. Crucially, this maximum bonus is permanent and does not reset. Even if a Tlatoani is slain in battle, the accumulated bonus persists and remains active for the remainder of the match. The following is a list of Aztec wonders based on our own hypotheses. Official details may vary upon the game's actual release. The list is as follows. Huitzilopochtli Wonder, Templo Mayor of Tenochtitlan. Tezcatlipoca Wonder, Teopanzalco. Quetzalcoatl Wonder, Temple of the Feathered Serpent. That wraps up my presentation on the Aztec mythology concept. Thank you so much for watching. As for which mythology I'll be diving into next, you'll have to stay tuned for the next video. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel to support my work. For now, I'm heading out. See you next time.